Okay, we are live. Let me make sure. Okay, yes, I hear. All right, we are live. It's your girl Lisa Danae, and I'm here with Shareece Gregory. It's lip service time with Lisa and Shareece, and the gang is all here. We are so happy today to have a beautiful guest in the not building, but on the show. On the show with us today, Miss Verna Caddie is here today, and she is an etiquette expert, and we are so happy to have her today. And Miss Caddie, how are you? How you doing? How you been? How's life treating you in the midst of COVID-19?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Yeah.
COVID-19 has not stopped anything that God has already ordained. So I'm just blessed, trying to stay healthy and trying to stay indoors with my family and praying.
Yes, indeed. And I really think a lot of people have a problem with staying indoors.
Mhm, mhm,
What's the
mhm,
problem? Are y'all hearing that feedback or is it just me?
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, I'm hearing feedback.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is, but we're gonna try to resolve that.
That's
So
fine.
yes, I don't know why people are having problems staying indoors.
Mhm.
If you I don't know, maybe turn something down. I don't know. I turned all my stuff down. I don't know what it could be. But we're gonna try to
Yeah, I don't have
continue
a
on.
problem either.
We're gonna try to continue on. So again, COVID-19, the rates are rising. Shareece, how are you doing? I know you've been doing great, but we got to still check in on each other. How are you doing in the midst of all this?
I am doing surprisingly well. I'm keeping busy every day with all kinds of work, and we got some surprises that'll be coming along the way later on today. And I'm just doing little things here and there to keep busy, and I'm doing pretty good. What
Yeah,
about you?
that's a blessing. I'm hanging on in here. I'm telling you, to be honest with you, um, I've been doing real good. COVID-19 been a little bit of a blessing. I hate to say that because I know people have lost their lives behind it and everything, but I mean, I've been fine with it. I've been doing great. Thank God.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
So, Miss Caddie, for the people who do not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do. I mean, it's not a lot of people who don't know you because everybody knows Coach Caddie, okay? But for the people who don't, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, thank you again for inviting me on your show today. It's an honor to be here today and alive and well during this COVID. But yes, I am the etiquette expert, Coach Caddie. I've been teaching etiquette for over 30 years now, and I just love it because etiquette is something that the world has lost, and even though the word etiquette is seems old fashioned to maybe the younger generation, it's something that we need to um, gain again, like respect and respecting our elders and being kind and considerate and being a young lady and being a young man. Uh, those type of situations, that's what we're missing in today's society. So I just love what I do, training others how to be classy.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I do agree that is missing. I'm not sure where that feedback's coming from, but I do agree that that's definitely something that's missing. It's gone now, or is it? I don't know, you guys. I'm not sure where that feedback is coming from, but I do agree that etiquette is something that's really missing in our society. People have no idea about proper etiquette. And
Mhm.
so that's why I'm really happy to have you on the show because I think people don't think it's necessary anymore, but it's extremely necessary, right?
Yes, it is because now I just did an interview last week and I talked about what's going on with COVID. And people need to understand that it's a shift. It's a shift in the atmosphere right now. In March when everything shut down and so many people lost their jobs and so many people were clueless on what now, what to do. But this is a shift in the atmosphere, and we all need to know that with shift come changes. So we have to be willing to change. Some people don't like to change, but it's something happened, not only in the spiritual realm, but in the realm that we're living in right now. So what I am telling people is giving people three advice. I know we're here to talk about me, and I will talk about me, but I need to put this out here. Pray, plan, and prepare. These are the things
Mm-hmm.
that we need to do in this season, okay? Because a lot of these companies are going to start looking for people with resumes, not only with degrees, but with the mannerism. That's what's going to get you indoors, okay? Yes, your
Right.
degrees, all that's going to look real pretty on paper. But if your attitude is not who you are, and it's not your altitude, that's not going to get you in the door. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Right.
Okay. So what we have to do is number one, pray. Pray because there's nothing we can do about COVID, right? We can't do nothing
Right.
but wash our hands, stay 6 feet, do whatever CDC is telling us to do. But we need to plan. And I'm just sharing with everyone right now. You should not be sitting here idle-minded. You should not be sitting here Netflixing and chilling. Yeah, that's cute sometimes, but you need to be taking up personal development workshops. You need to be taking up online classes. You need to be doing something that's going to put you above the rest. Okay, and that's
Yeah.
what etiquette is about. It's about showing others respect for others, but it's also raising a different standard of yourself. Because all these different things on your resume is not going to look good when you're competing against 500 people. Okay.
Right.
So, what we used to do now, remember what I said, it's a shift in the atmosphere. So, we must be prepared for that shift. If we're not prepared, you will get left behind in this new season.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Because
mhm.
I mean, like I said before, oh, that feedback is really killing me. Like I said before, I don't know if you guys hear that?
I hear it. It's okay though. It's okay. The devil is a lie. We're just gonna keep doing
Yes.
it.
So anyway, like I said before, etiquette is extremely important. A lot of people feel like it's old-fashioned or it's not important anymore, or whatever the case may be, but it is extremely important. Talk to us a little bit about your work, your organization, Divine Creations.
Okay, well, Divine Creations was created in 2006, where I saw a change in my community that I wanted to be a change agent. Sometimes we look at situations and we talk about it, but we don't really put in the work. Well, I used to model and then I used to teach modeling as well. But my passion was helping the younger girls in the Black communities because I saw that the road that they were heading was not the proper road that I would have liked them to see. The loud talking, the wearing their, shorts, leaving nothing to imagination. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there, but I'm pretty sure you know. So I wanted to be a change agent. I knew that I live on the north side of town. I taught in the Galleria. So two different two different young type of ladies. So I wanted to bring that to our community as far as being a young lady. And so I thought about the etiquette. Well, they need to learn etiquette because you can't get mad at someone if they don't know. So if they
Right.
don't know, you have to do what? You have to train them. So that's when the training came in with the etiquette. But also with etiquette, you can't teach etiquette if they have low self esteem. If someone
Mm,
does not feel good about themselves, I don't care if you beat it upside their head and say, look, you have to walk like this, you have to talk like this. If it's not in them, they don't feel that way. They don't feel like, well, I need to, handle myself like this because I'm from this side of town. But
Right.
just because you're from that side of town, don't mean that you have to. Good things come from bad side of towns, okay? Good things come from that. You don't have
right,
to be where you are. Where you are today does not mean that you're going to stay there, you know.
right,
So therefore, I had to work with the etiquette, but also with the self-esteem to let them know whose they are. Who are you? You are a child of God. So God does not create anything wrong. Everything He does is in excellence. Okay, so with that, I also had to do the proper training because some young ladies don't know how to sit. Some young ladies don't know proper hygiene. Some
mm,
young ladies don't, you will be surprised, they don't know a lot of things, how to get in the car, how to put your foot when
yes,
you get in a car so that you won't show the world your goodies. You have
yes,
to know it's a proper way to do everything that we do.
Right.
So once I started the program, I wanted to do something more than just the training. So I thought about, well, a debutante ball.
mm-hmm,
Let's do that because a lot of these young ladies will never have the opportunity to wear a white gown. Okay.
right,
Some of these young men will never have the opportunity to wear a tuxedo.
Right.
Okay.
mm-hmm,
So therefore, when you come into my program, we not only teach you the etiquette, we teach you also how to behave. We teach you table etiquette so that if you are invited to dinner with, let's say you get hired on a job, most jobs these days, they will take you out to dinner to see if you know proper etiquette skills before they
yes,
even hire you. Most jobs, they will look at your social media page to see if you have things that are inappropriate on your page. So we also
yes,
have to watch what we post because everything that we post, it can come back to haunt you as well. So therefore, the debutante ball, I always tell people I do my debutante ball with a twist. It's not like the original debutante balls because debutante balls were when young ladies of richer families would be presented to society, but also they would marry someone rich. So
uh-huh,
that's basically how that occurred. Well, what we do is we train them, give them the proper tools that they need, and we present them to society as proper young ladies.
yes.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I want to say before we move on, if anybody has their phone next to their laptop or, turn down the volume of your phone, that could give you some feedback. But also, I think that's really great what you said about self-esteem. I think that's a good point that we really don't understand sometimes when dealing with people. If you don't have the proper level of self-esteem, you won't be interested in etiquette.
Mhm.
Won't
You're
be.
gonna be interested in anything
Mhm.
Right. That's true.
because
But
if you
definitely
don't feel good about yourself on the inside, it's
right.
gonna show on the outside. So
That's
you
right.
Yes.
definitely have to uh, learn how to love yourself first before you can, be around anybody else to be able to accept them to be able to love you as well. So
Right.
I'm in total
Right.
agreement with her on that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then what you said about teaching them things. If you don't know something, that can that can hurt your self-esteem too because you feel like I should have known this. And then when
Mhm.
somebody's telling you, you might get defensive. Your self-esteem ain't right because you'll feel like, man, I feel stupid because maybe I should have already known how to get in and out of car without showing my goods. Or
Exactly.
maybe I should have known how to wash my ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, in real terms, you know, all that is stuff that sometimes you have to teach grown people. I mean, I know y'all have experience dealing with grown people, and you say, who raised you? You
Yes.
Oh.
know,
Mhm.
who raised you to come over somebody's house empty-handed? Who raised you to take food from folks' house, go in folks' cabinets? It's all type of etiquette that you would be surprised people don't know. Personal, professional, social media. So, I mean, have you always known that you would do this type of work? Were you just like the proper one in school, or did you just really love order and organization and stuff like that? How did you know you would do this, or did you know?
Well, that's it. I did not know. But when you are called, you know,
Yeah,
when you are called by God to do something, you don't really have a choice. Because when I was a teenager, I was much like my younger daughter. I liked my tennis shoes and I liked my jeans. Okay.
yeah,
Now I think I have one pair of jeans. I love gowns and dresses and all that other stuff. I don't do that. But as I stated, as I was brought up, because I was basically practically the oldest one, and but my grandmother always spoiled me, so I was like, okay. So she was the cook, but I always stayed in her makeup and played around with that. So I always knew that I had a calling on my life, but I just didn't know what it would be until I started modeling, and then I started teaching modeling at Barbizon School of Modeling in the Galleria. So once I entered that and I saw how those young ladies were acting compared to where I was living, I was like, okay, Lord, I know it's something else that you want me to do. So whatever you would have me to do, I'll do it. And from that point, I have been doing it for years to come. And I love it because the thing about it is that I will have young ladies call me till this day and tell me how them being in my program have changed their lives. I'm talking about some executives. They are makes me proud that these young black women are have it going on, you know. And so
yeah.
it's a blessing. And even some of the young ladies' parents, I still talk to. We still communicate. One lady told me the other day, a parent told me, a shout out to Teresa if you're looking, but her daughter made valedictorian at her school or salutatorian. Either way, they're still good. But and now her daughter's a cheerleader and she's just doing awesome things. And I was, congratulating her because her daughter was coming into the program as a baby because
Wow.
yes, as a baby, my best friend who used to help me with divine creation, her name was Rona, and she passed away of lupus. And
Oh,
so every year I try to do something at the ball that will help keep her name alive because
yeah.
she loved divine creation. But whenever Rona would come to the ball, she would be babysitting her. And so now to see her, this beautiful young lady, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I still see some of these girls that have went through my program that are very successful, very sweet, elegant, beautiful young ladies. So I thank God for the vision that he's given us. And we're living in, like I said, such a time as this where we are responsible for our young ladies. You are responsible, Lisa. You're responsible, what, Shareece, right? We're responsible. You know why? Because the Word of God tells us that we, the older generation, need to teach the younger girls. So it is our responsibility to do such a thing. So
Yes.
I'm so glad you have me on your platform so that, young ladies who probably never heard of divine creation will contact us and their mothers will contact us and say, hey, how do I get my child in your program?
Yes, that's exactly why I wanted to have you on. Also, because I feel like you're never too old to learn. Never stop learning. You're never too old to learn. And I wanted to get your take on a lot of things because right now, etiquette has been so relaxed in a lot of areas, even in the workplace. Things that you would never do before, people are doing like it's okay. Even in, like I said, personal relationships, professional relationships, and definitely social media. There is a way to do social media properly. And I think people don't feel that there is. Things are getting so relaxed. So I would love to talk to you about a few topics. The first one is this thing with femininity. Okay, you're a very feminine woman. I'm a very feminine woman. But sometimes being super feminine It's only applauded when a gay man is doing it. Nothing against gays. I love y'all. But I'm saying when a woman is like that, super feminine, it's looked at like something wrong with you or you're dramatic. But when a man is like that, especially a gay man, it's oh go queen, oh go girl. And I think it's weird because what do people have with a problem with a woman being feminine? What
Okay,
is our problem
now
with that?
my question to you, Lisa, is which ones would you say, would it be the men or the women that are acting like this?
The women.
Okay, so now that's very easy to tell you. Okay, because I'm gonna just be honest with you because I'm a realist. People are jealous. You know, we deal with, like I said, we in if I'm a very spiritual woman as well, but I love makeup. Okay, and that's my choice. That's a part of my brand. I will. If you see me at Walmart, yes, I will have my face, how they say, laid or whatever it is. But this, I was like this even before the genre came out with this term "laid." I always presented myself like a lady. You have to understand, Lisa, that when people, okay, don't give you your props, it's okay because they would rather give them their props, and it's okay. But you have to understand that we are dealing with spirits as well, and people are very jealous. That's
Yeah.
just it's just what it is. It has nothing to etiquette. It has something to do with etiquette because if you have proper class, if you're a proper classy lady, first and foremost, you're not going to be jealous of any woman anyway. Okay,
Right.
I'm not going to be jealous of any woman. Why? Because you are confident with who you are. Okay.
So, what is your take on men teaching etiquette classes to women?
Mm.
Now, see, you went there. Okay. I'm just going to be real. Men teaching etiquette classes to women. I've never heard of it. However, I do know of some men that do teach etiquette, but it's for young men. I'm going to just be honest. I don't think a man can tell a woman how to be a woman. I'm just being honest. I mean, come on now. I mean, I'm about to write a book on dating, and that's another subject. But I don't think a man can tell me how to be a woman.
Yes. I
I,
agree.
I, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly, and I was asking only because I own a boutique,
Mhm.
and twice a year I normally give a fashion show. And in
Mhm.
giving that fashion show, it's always a 2 day event where I have the first day is a workshop that is mandatory for them to come. And I always have different people there. So next year, this time, we will definitely have to have you in the house to
Okay.
with the models, men and women, for the etiquette part of it. Uh, and I've been in several shows. I've been here 10 years now. And I get amazed when I see men teaching women how to walk and showing them how to do things. And sometimes it looks okay. And then sometimes I'm like, not so much. So I
Mhm.
just want to know your take on that.
Mhm. Mhm. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some men that can run that paper. They can walk that runway.
Right,
They can walk a runway. Okay.
Yes.
Some men who can put on makeup. Oh my gosh.
right. And
Ow.
look like a for real woman, right?
Whoa, whoa. But I just believe, like in the world of etiquette, I think a woman, from a woman's point of view, like we talked about the hygiene, some women don't know. And I've done a lot of modeling shows as well. I've ran a lot of, walked a lot of runways, and I've been behind the stages of it. Okay, so let's talk about that. So a lot of these women don't come clean when you
Oh,
in one room and you changing clothes, and now
Lord,
you open up that door and you just like, whoa, what?
yeah,
Wait a minute. Did
mhm,
anybody take a shower today?
right.
Yes.
That part.
Okay. So I mean, I've been behind. I've like I said, I've been behind the back door, but when you open up that door, you like, ew. Okay.
I've even experienced where they want to put your clothes on and not even put on underwear. I'm like, where you do that at?
And then
No.
you
I
then
can't resell this. You buying it?
some of these clothes you returning.
Right. And then with COVID, I'm like, no, I no.
You just didn't purchase that outfit.
Yes. Yes. But I think that's a great thing that you brought up, Shareece, because this is something that we face, a lot of women face throughout their lives in church. The pastor teaching a woman how she need to be a woman. I've always had a problem with that from a male pastor. Now I can understand when it's biblically based, but when it's just your opinion of what a woman should be, I don't like that. I've never liked that. I hate it when pastors would say women shouldn't wear lipstick or women should wear makeup. I'm thinking, what else said in the Bible? And
Mm,
it was more like their own personal opinion and their own personal preference that was pushed on women as a way of showing you how to be a proper woman and looking on you as if you were not godly if you wore makeup. Now, a lot of that has changed, but when I was coming up, especially in Church of God in Christ, if you wore makeup, you was looked at as what they would call a harlot or a loose woman or worldly. They would call you worldly. And I used to
mm,
try to figure this out because I'm thinking, okay, so people in other countries who wear makeup, they worldly too. I mean, they wear makeup as part of their tribe or whatever. So they worldly. I mean, it just didn't make sense to me. And I never like a man trying to teach a woman womanly things. So I really love that you brought that up, Shareece, because
mm.
I
Yeah.
think what Miss Caddie said is so true. We have to be responsible for each other and for ourselves because can't nobody really teach us how to be us but us.
Amen. Amen.
They don't really know.
That's right. That's right. That's
That
right.
part.
And that part right there, I mean, that's it. We can go home now because we already home. But what you just said, that was it. We can't teach anybody. Oh, girl, you went there. We have to teach each other. Okay.
Yes,
Now it's okay if you're giving your advice, but bring in the woman and let her lead.
yes,
Let her lead the way. Because I also spoke at a church, since you're speaking about churches. Um, I had a pastor, a first lady, I'm sorry, she called me and she was like, Miss Caddie, I need you to speak to the women in my congregation in regards to what to wear to church. Now, I've never been asked to speak on that before, and I was kind of mind blown. Like people don't know what to wear to church, what's proper. I mean, I don't understand that. So I was mind boggled about they don't understand, and she was like, no, they really don't. They don't understand. But I always tell my kids that come into the program, when you know better, you do better.
yes,
Yes, wearing short skirts and sitting in the front pew, no, that's very disrespectful, okay?
right.
Okay, especially if you have a single pastor. Some pastors are single, not every pastor is married. So you want to respect yourself, and you all that's what etiquette is about. It's about respecting yourself and others. But I was mind blown when I was asked, hey, could you come speak to the women of the congregation because they don't know how to dress proper. And I was like, wow, really? They
But
don't?
I was glad that they asked for an expert to come in though, because it's better to have an expert come in to talk to people than to talk to them based on your personal preference and your personal opinion.
Right.
Because
Amen.
the expert don't know these people, and sometimes the pastor and the pastor wife and whoever else know these people, and it can come off wrong.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I applaud that pastor for having you come in because you know those type of things have gotten relaxed too. How people used to come to church, that has definitely gotten relaxed. It people come to church any kind of way now. When I was growing up, you didn't even come in pants. I mean, as a woman, you had to wear a dress. Now, I don't mind wearing a nice pantsuit myself nowadays, but some of the things I see in church does have me puzzled at times. That people think that's okay. Coming to church without a bra on and in an outfit that shows you don't have a bra on. I don't understand that. I mean, this is the type of thing that etiquette. I think some people think etiquette only means how you sit and eat at the table. It's so much more to it than that,
Yes, it
right,
is.
Miss?
It is. It's so much more. Like I said, right now we're going through a shift. It's going to be a shift. So you have to shift in the moment or you will get left behind
Yeah.
because, manners will get you far beyond that degree. Okay.
Right.
If I'm in a position where I'm in an interview with a woman who has she's all these degrees, but then I walk in classy, elegant, and with my degree, who you think is going to get the job?
Right.
Right.
So you
Right.
you have to learn. Etiquette is something that was taught way back when, but we have to bring that skill back in now because we're losing our young men and women because of lack of etiquette. And they don't
Yes.
teach this in school. It's not taught in school. School
Right.
teaches them how to pass a test. But what about how to get a job? What about social skills? What about how to manage your money? Those are things they're going to need when they go off to college into the real world. Don't set
I
our
think
children up for failure.
Right.
absolutely. I think if anybody feels at this point that school is enough, then you already missed the boat. School is not enough for your child. School do not teach enough. You have to teach more outside of what your child getting at school. Period. That's
Yes,
on finances, etiquette, even social media, everything. School just do the bare minimum nowadays. You have to teach even your child history and math and stuff on the outside. So we definitely cannot depend on school to teach something like etiquette. But I do want to say this. I took etiquette classes as a young woman. And for me, it was because I never, ever want to be out of place. And not because, so much of caring about what people think, but because I believe my name means something. I've
mm,
always felt that way. My name means something. That's all I got in this world is my life and my name. And I never want to have a bad name for not doing things properly. And what I mean by that, if you ever entered into a situation or a room or been introduced to somebody, and either they don't make eye contact at all, they looking at the floor, or they don't know how to shake your hand, or they don't know how to greet you, it's really sad when you see adults doing that. Now, I mean, I don't think people understand how bad of a first impression that made. And that's all a part of proper etiquette.
it is. See, first impressions are very important. And even though the Word of God tells us that we should not judge, well, now we live in the world, but we're not of the world. But when people look at you, they're judging you. Okay,
Yes.
so
Right.
you have to make sure you have a good first impression because sometimes you only get one with people. You don't
Hmm.
Right.
get a chance. Once you show me who you are, trust and believe. I'm not going back. Okay.
Right.
Right.
I don't go back, and if I do go back, it's just to see how far I've come. But I'm not going to go back for anything. That's just me. First impressions are very important, especially let's talk about this when you say eye contact. Eye contact right now is very important. You know why? Because we all have to wear masks. So
Right.
normally, when we see people, we do what? We smile. See, I'm a smiler and I love to hug people. I'm a hugger and a smiler. So right now, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't hug people. But when you have on your mask, people can't see you smiling. So now you have
Right.
to smile with what? Your eyes. You have to use eye contact. How are you? You're gonna have to know how to use your eye contact because you can't speak through your mask. You can't.
Right.
Right.
You're correct
Well,
about
eye,
that.
eye contact is always good for me. And I noticed that when I moved to Texas, people were kind of put off by me because I look in your eyes. I look in your eye. That's just something I've always done. Mainly because I want to see what you own. And I can see what you own if I'm looking in your eyes. So you can say whatever you want out your mouth. I'm looking in your eyes. So that's the main reason why I do it. But I also do it because I need you to know what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? I need to know exactly where I'm coming from. There will be no dispute because I'm looking you dead in your eyes. But I do realize that sometimes that's intimidating to people. Why do you think that is?
Well, because they're holding something back or they don't want you to find something out about them. Nine times out of 10, they're holding something back and they don't want you to find out. See, a good liar, they don't want. They get ticked if you looking at them. They like, whoa, 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 hold up. You know, I love to look at a person in their eyes because I'm not going to be just staring at you like this, of course, but I want to have that conversation because I want to believe what you're telling me.
Yeah,
When you don't look at a person in the eyes, that means you can't be trusted. It's a sign
Right.
that you cannot be trusted.
I believe that too. And that's something that we're going to talk about hopefully at another date when we just talk strictly on dating etiquette. I know you say you're writing a book on dating. I need you to talk to us one day just strictly on dating etiquette because that's something that can kill a date when they will not look you in the face. And you're looking at them in the face and you're thinking like, what's the problem?
The
Why
reason
can't you
why I
look at me in
wanted
my eyes? Why can't you look at me
the
in my
reason why I
face?
wanted to write the book is because I do believe a lot of men, they have lost that. Some of them do. Some of them are very charismatic. Will, sweep you off your feet. But then a lot of men, they don't know how to approach a woman and they don't know what to say. And then women, I just believe that we need to understand our role as far as being the woman. We need to bring that back, the dating role back, because right about now, dating is kind of like weird right now. It's kind of like,
It's
what?
very weird.
You have a job? What do you want to do with that?
And these men are so lazy,
Yes.
so they definitely need some etiquette back in their life. 'Cause,
Exactly.
just constantly text somebody, what you doing all day is not a
Okay.
relationship.
Yeah, that's not a relationship.
I'm like, pick up the phone and find out.
But see, I think that's because people don't know etiquette is based in principles, basic principles of consideration, kindness,
Mhm.
and making somebody feel significant. So I can't feel significant if I don't ever hear your voice. All you're doing is texting me.
Ooh,
So that's the reason why that's proper etiquette because I don't feel significant. I don't feel like there's any significance to our relationship or the lack thereof because all you do is text. And for some
mhm.
people, I think they don't understand what is the purpose of these rules, this etiquette, but it's based in basic principles. Am I right, Miss Caddie? Because you're the expert on this. The
It's
principles
basically
of
rules.
consideration.
Yes, it's rules of how you treat other people. Like you said, kindness. It's just rules. So back on the dating, if you want to date me, I don't want you to text me WYD. Excuse me? I want you to pick up the phone
Absolutely.
and I want you to say, "Hey baby, how you
Right.
doing?"
That
Yes.
part. I want to hear that voice.
Yes.
I want to hear that voice. I don't want to see WYD. Excuse me? I'm busy. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. And then also, if I text you, this is why I feel like proper etiquette is not being practiced too. If I text you, or if you want me to call you and you text me, call me. Well, if you have your phone and you're in a position to text me, why would you call me? That to me is so confusing. For a person to text you, call me. Well, you got your phone in your hand to text me. Why didn't you call
Right.
instead of texting? That is so weird to me.
Right. Then they'll say, well, I didn't want to bother you. And the
But you
text
did.
is what? Makes no sense.
And let's talk about going on a date etiquette. Now, see, like I said, I had etiquette class as a young woman, so I know some of this stuff is improper. When you invite someone out, whether it be a friend or a romantic relationship, you pay, period. So, like, if I invite my friends out, I always reach for that check. And they be like, girl, you don't have to pay. I said, but I asked you to come.
Yes,
I've just always thought that's proper etiquette. If you ask, especially if you pick the place,
that's right.
if you ask somebody out and you pick the place, you expect them to pay? I think that's weird.
It is. And it is not proper etiquette. Like you said, if I ask you, hey, Lisa, you want to go out for brunch? because I'm a brunchy. And you say, sure, well, I'm going to pay for it. I'm not going to let you pay for it if I ask you to come out. But again, a lot of people, even adults, do not know proper etiquette. They don't know. And you know what? They are too ashamed to ask for the help.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I think it's nothing to be ashamed of if your reason for asking is because you don't want anyone to feel insignificant or uncared for, or you don't want to seem unkind. But
Mhm.
some of those behaviors is what you look like. You seem unkind. Now, for me, if I got a friend that we always going out, then she already know. If I say, "Girl, let's go for a drink," she know most times you paying for yours, I'm paying for mine.
Yeah.
But if I'm calling you out the blue
Mhm.
and we haven't gone out in a while and I'm saying, do you want to go for a drink? I feel like I should be the one to pay. And if I'm not going to pay, I need to make that clear or
Mhm.
something before we get there.
Mhm.
Don't just get there. Now, I have a friend that, oh, I don't know if I should tell this, but I'm going to tell it because I was so shocked that she was okay with this. The man asked her out. He
Okay.
said, where do you want to go? She said, I want to go to Red Lobster. So he took her to Red Lobster. They were sitting there, and he said, order whatever you want, get whatever you want off the menu. And she was saying, oh my God, well, I'm going to get the surf and turf. I'm going to get an appetizer. I'm going to get a drink. And when the lady came with the check, he said, put the drinks on mine. And I was like, what? So she
Oh.
had to pay for everything but the drinks. But the man told her, get what you want. Now, me personally, that would have been the end of that. First of
Oh,
all, I wouldn't have paid because I would have told them he paying, put everything on his.
wow. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
Oh my God. And that's the reason why I'm writing this book, because this is needed in such a time as this. We need it.
yes,
You do not take a ask a lady out on a date and you can't even afford to buy her dinner. I don't care what it is. First of all, when you meet the woman, you know what type of woman she is anyway. I'm just saying. Okay. If a man meet me, you know you're not gonna take me to Taco Cabana. First of all, I don't do
yes,
outdoors. Okay, I don't do outdoors. Okay, that's number one rule. You're not going to do that. So you should already know the type of woman that you're dating. And I'm going to say this, men, by my microphone. If you do not have a job right now, you should not be dating a woman. Okay, you should
yes.
be getting yourself
come
together
on now, preach
before
it.
you start dating. Drop the mic.
Absolutely.
Just
I
drop.
think that's true of women too, though. I think that's true. I mean, I
Very
know
true.
women don't have financial responsibility to take care of a man, but don't expect somebody to take you somewhere you can't take yourself. Now,
Ah,
see, I don't expect that. I always, if I ask a man to take me somewhere, you best believe I already been there. I done took
thank you.
myself there
Thank you.
several
And
times.
that's a thing wrong with a lot of women nowadays too. You want the man to do all these things. You want the man to buy you a Hermes bag. You want the man to take you, uh, to these fabulous vacations. But can you do that for yourself?
Right,
And the reason why I say that
right.
is because I have boys. So I don't want no woman trying to use my boys. Oh
That
no.
part.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. That's how I feel about it.
Then you have
And it's
boys
just not
too.
proper. Yeah, it's just not proper to ask somebody to take you somewhere that you know you can't afford yourself.
Thank
And
you.
so for me, just keep it real and be okay with whatever level you're on. But when it comes to another issue of dating etiquette, that I mean, I hate to have to put it out there, but I have to put it out there. I'm noticing a lot of women, the first date, you asking a man to pay bills, like your household bills. Now, the reason why it bothers me is because it's giving men a bad idea of what women are.
Yeah.
A lady that don't know you, a lady, not a woman, a lady is not going to ask you to pay her bills on the first date.
I'm gonna drink
Because
my
first of
tea
all,
on
I
that.
wouldn't touch my bills like that.
I'm drinking
I
my
don't know you.
tea. I'm drinking my tea on that.
I guess Miss Caddie said, if you want to handle one of these bills, baby, that's on you.
Oh my
Okay.
God. See,
And she had the Louis Vuitton.
Yes.
let me say this.
Exactly.
I have boys, so when it comes down to a woman treating a man right, I want my boys to make sure that they're in relationships with good women. Uh, Women, if you're asking a man to pay your bills on the first date, you don't need to be dating either, sweetheart. You need to be getting yourself together. That's what you need to do because you're not in the place to date anyway. It don't seem like it.
I agree. Yes, I agree. Now, it was one other thing I wanted to talk about as far as etiquette when it comes to business, because I think this is another thing that has gotten relaxed with interviews. I have been to interviews where it said professional attire, and I think that has somehow gotten confused. People got confused with what professional attire is. I've seen people at these interviews with jeans, with t-shirts, and I'm thinking, what part of professional attire include jeans and t-shirts? I mean, what is
Because they
no,
don't they
no,
don't
no.
know. Because
What is the
they're probably
rule?
thinking casual. They're probably thinking casual. But normally when you go on an interview, you are supposed to put your best foot out there. You're supposed to show them, hey, this is me at my best. You wear a black suit if you're a man and a nice tie if you're a woman. You wear black. You cannot fail with a black suit at all. You cannot. Okay.
Right,
But when you like that, you're not going to get the job. Okay, that's not the proper attire for an interview. And that's a good question that you just asked because I'm now teaching young college students how to get the interview and how to get the job with proper interviews because those rules have changed too. See, the rules
yeah,
of etiquette are always changing. It's always
right,
changing now. So there's a proper way now to do a resume. There's a proper
mhm,
way to do interviews because sometimes when you go on interviews, you may not meet one person. You may be in a group full of people that are doing interviews. So we
right,
have to do those things. That's the reason why I said if you don't know, it's okay to ask someone. It's okay to, hey, call me, Miss Caddie. Hey, I'm going on an interview. What do you think? What's your opinion on this? Get the proper advice if you want the job interview because again, we're going through a shift in the atmosphere. So these
yeah,
companies are going to be looking for people not only that's degreed, but they're degreed and their mindset is ready for the job and they have proper etiquette skills because etiquette will take you places where your degree can't.
Absolutely.
right.
Mhm.
Well, there's one question that I have about thank you notes. There used to be a time when you get an interview, you would mail in a thank you card or thank you note. Well, now nobody really does mail anymore. So is an email thank you appropriate, or should you still do regular snail mail?
You should still do a regular snail mail. I'm going to
Oh,
say
okay.
this the reason why we must do this is because we have lost that social connection. Everything is
Hmm.
text, email, messenger. But when you get that in your hand, that is so much personable. If I get
Yeah,
a nice card in my hand, oh my gosh, I'm going to remember you. I'm going to be like, oh, wow, thank you. That was
right.
nice. Trust me, you'll get that job. Trust me, you will.
Okay, well, that's something I always wondered about
Mhm.
because I had been doing emails and I thought maybe I should go back to the old way of
Mhm.
actual mail, put it in the mail. Because
Yes,
I mean, same thing, it'll get there the next day.
yes, yes. Send it right after the interview. Right after the interview.
Okay,
And not
so
only
now,
that, but that gives a lasting, or it makes it more memorable. So they'll be like,
Exactly.
you know what? She stood out to me about that.
Yes, 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 yes.
I might not have this job, but she might be good for that job.
Thank you.
that's
Yes,
a good
They
point.
may make a area for you to be able to work if the other one is taken or whatever the case may be.
that's right.
So
That's
I
right.
think that's a really good. thing to do. And like we were saying the last couple of weeks, self development is key to anything, whether you are creating your own business, whether you are going out to work a business.
Yes,
Uh, you have to be creative and you have to be able to go with the flow and be flexible and be able to do the things that they're requiring.
that's right. That's
Right.
right. hmm
Yeah. So I
It's
think that's awesome.
Yes, it's like branding yourself. You are a brand.
Yeah,
So, your personal self is like a walking business card.
absolutely.
Yes. That's
Mhm.
a good
And
point.
I tell models all the time how important it is to have like a model page and
Mhm.
then have your personal page.
Yes.
Like I don't want you to come and apply to be a that you want to be a model for me, and then I go on your page and you got guys on here rolling up weed, you smoking, and you doing the most. Like no, I
Yeah.
don't want you to represent me because that's not what I do. Now, what
Amen.
you do on your own time, and if that's on your own personal private page,
Yes. Yes.
knock yourself out. But for your professional page, it needs to be professional.
Amen.
Because I tell people all the time, believe it or not, social media is the best way to get you hired and fired.
Amen. Yes.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
it's the best way to get you hired and fired with everything that people put out on social media now. You have to be conscious because whether you believe it or not, somebody is always looking at your page.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right.
Whether it be for good or for bad, they're always looking at your page.
Yes. That
Yes.
is so
Yeah,
true.
that's 100% true.
That
That's
is true.
100% true. But also, when you're looking to somebody recommend somebody to you and you want to see their work and you go to their page, you got to scroll through family pictures and all this stuff. I'm trying to see your work because I want to buy something. That is so
I
annoying.
don't want to read how your baby daddy had you mad and left you at the bus stop for the seventh time. I don't want to read all of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cussing
that's
out
why
the
it's good
lady
to
because
have
she forgot your hamburger and french fries. I don't want to read about all that.
No, and you shouldn't, because you're right. When people in the professional field go to hire you, that's the place they look at your social media page.
Absolutely. Is it make or break?
Yes, I'll tell people all the time, you walking around here naked showing your goodies. Well, when you go for a professional job and they see that, do you really think they're going to hire you? No. They're
Well,
not
they
No,
may hire you with ulterior motives.
that kind of job.
Yeah, that's
Right.
not.
I'm gonna need you to come over here and tie this shoelace.
Mm, oh my, that
But
job don't pay well.
You get a bonus if you clean up.
I
Whatever.
always tell people to dress how you want to be addressed. If you want to be dressed appropriately, you're gonna get approached appropriately. But if you dress, you know, what's the nice word I'm trying to say? Slutty, then you're gonna be
Yeah,
dressed as such. So dress how you
right.
want to be addressed. Because if a man come at you
Right.
appropriately, you put yourself out there like that.
That's true. That's true. Because
Mhm.
I mean, you're advertising something. You're always, like you said, your brand. And if they
Right.
think your brand is selling some ass, I mean, if you put it out there on display, you can't get mad if they try to buy some. I mean,
Well,
you can't get mad.
Okay.
So I want to also get your take on this. We know that last year, it may have been the year before, but I think it was last year, a principal made national news here in Houston by requiring parents to follow a dress code. Parents to follow a dress code coming to pick their kids up from school because parents had gotten so out of hand about how they was coming up to the school. How do you feel about that? What is making these parents feel like they could just come up to the school with negligees and bonnets and house coats, house shoes? What is going on?
pajama shirts, little shorts.
Mm, mm. Well, I say this. I totally agree with it 1000%. 1,000%, because I have a child that's in school, and I know when I go up to her school, her friends are like, "Oh, I see your mom. Oh, she's dressed so nice." And my daughter, she's like, "Well, thank you." But then I also have seen the parents that have done that and how the kids look. They're very embarrassed. They're very embarrassed.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I think that just because, and if it's an emergency and something happened to your child and you just had to run in and out, that's understandable. But you know what? I have saw people go to the schools with their bonnets, with their clothes. I mean, I have just saw it all. I
Them
think
shorts and them big furry pajama shoes.
yes. Don't get me talking about the Walmart now. I think they should have a dress code. Walmart.
Yeah, you can see anything in Walmart.
Yes,
Walmart.
Lord.
But yeah, I totally agree with that principle. I was jumping up and down when I heard her say that. I'm like, every school should adapt that. It's sad because you would think that parents would know better, but as I stated,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't know.
Yeah. And then it makes parents that do come up there looking good more comfortable. I mean, I don't know. For me, sometimes it is like that. It's almost like you're a celebrity coming into school just because you look decent.
Yeah,
All the kids, oh, who mama is that?
yeah,
And my son's already like, that's my mama. That's
exactly.
my mama coming in
They're
here.
proud. That's right. They're
And
proud.
everybody,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
you know. But one other thing I wanted to say, and then we're going to talk about your books. I wanted to talk about, because I think this is so important. I wanted to talk about phone etiquette in public.
Okay.
Phone etiquette in public. How people take phone calls in public. I just don't know where there's no etiquette. What is your thoughts on that?
Okay. It's very rude and disrespectful, not only for the person that you're on the other line with, because let's say you call me and you want to talk to me about something personable, and I'm talking to you real loud. Really? That happened? Well, you may not want other people to know what I'm talking to you about. And also, to the people, like especially if you're in an elevator and you're just talking, that person don't want to hear your conversation. So yes, it's
Right.
very rude to be on a phone call, and especially I've had this done to me several times where I think it's very rude. If I'm talking to you and you're on your phone, that's very rude. You need
Yeah.
to you need to excuse yourself from the dinner table to take that call outside, or you need to tell that person, "I'm in a business meeting. I need to call you back." Again, Lisa, it's so many people that don't know what
Yeah.
we are talking about. A lot of people don't know, and they don't think how important this subject right here is. Very important. I think
It really
everyone
is.
needs to be listening into this, because etiquette is very important. It will get you indoors that, I'm telling you, manners will get you indoors that your education cannot. And they need
Yeah.
to know better. They need to understand. That's very important. It's very rude to be on the phone, with someone talking loud and telling that person business. Like I said, what if that person don't want the world to know what happened to them? You
Right.
just put it out to the world.
Right. Or if you're in the doctor's office and somebody answers the phone and it's all this girl, and the whole lobby got to be a part of this now. That is so annoying. I hate that. There's no etiquette. I was in Walmart one day and the cashier had her phone on. She was talking on the phone. She had an earpiece on and she was ringing up my stuff. Talking about, girl, yeah. And I was like, what is going on? You on the phone? Uh, you know, handle this first. Believe that she was on the phone while she was ringing up groceries. And I just thought, wow, we have really gotten relaxed as a society. That's not proper. That is so rude.
Mhm, mhm. It really is.
That's another thing about phone etiquette. People who call you have to understand. See, one thing I hate about cell phones is video calls.
Mhm.
When people
Ooh,
video call you without without texting first or at least knowing your schedule,
right.
don't video call. You know what I'm doing?
That burns me
I'm
up.
through.
Now, this is it right here that gets me, ladies. You request me as a friend. I say, okay, well, a minister, I probably will because, I like to minister, you know.
Mhm.
I accept it. 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone goes off. Video messages. What? I don't even know you.
Yes,
That gets right up
that's
under my skin and cooks all of my grits. Burns my bacon up. I can't stand that. Or you'll get a call just from Messenger. I used to get them on Sunday, and I'd be in church, and I'm an usher. And they'd be like, "Your phone going off," and I'm like, "What?" And I would look up, and it'd be people calling me on Messenger that I don't even have a clue as to who they are. Oh, I would put that on. I would put those people on blast on Facebook. Like, if I didn't give you my number, do not call me. And Facebook should
right.
stop that. If
Yes,
you don't give them permission, or if you have not physically given them your phone number to call you, they should not be able to just video chat and call you like that.
yes. I think that really burns me up to pieces. And not a lot of things burn me up. I'll let things slide, but that's one thing because I like my sleep now. When I'm asleep, do not disturb my sleep.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, and you want a video? How you know I got my piece on right? How you know?
Right.
No, I don't like that.
And how you know I want to be bothered like that? A
Yes,
phone call is one thing,
That I even want to
but
be seen,
video,
yes,
or that I even want to
yeah,
see you.
video. That's what I was gonna say. How do you know I want to see you? See,
Yeah,
video is different because I'm inviting you into my world now.
yes,
You have to
right.
you have to ask first. You can't
Not
yes.
just
only that,
say
but
I
then look, they pay attention to stuff that they shouldn't even be paying attention to. Whose shoe is that over there on the floor? Was
how
that a
many
man's
clothes
shirt
you got
over
on the
there?
floor?
You know, I mean, just anything. You be like, come on now. I mean, what did you call it? Inspect my place or what?
Right,
Well,
right,
you in the car. I thought you said you was asleep. Yeah, 20 minutes ago.
right, right.
So
It's
yeah, I'm with
intrusive. To
Yes,
me, it's intrusive. You don't have a right to just video call me just because we talk on the phone. And
yeah.
I think that is what we do with
Mhm.
dating. Just because we talking on the phone or whatever, we talking, we trying to get to know each other. Don't think you're gonna be video calling me all the time because I'm not with that. You know,
No, 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 no.
oh, and then this is the worst. They want to video call you at night. What you do? About to hang up on you. That's what I'm about to do. Yeah, I tell people don't
yeah,
call me video. I work with my hands. Don't call me doing no video chat. I might be painting, putting together something, sewing something. Don't call me on video. Then I mean I gotta hold the phone and stop what I'm doing. No, I'm not doing that.
right,
I pay
right.
that
And
attention.
even if I am available, it's a thing of like, since you want to text so much, text first. Can I video
Mhm,
call you? Do you want video chat? What's wrong with
Right,
that? Just
right.
text.
But it
mhm.
go back to again, men not knowing or not thinking that they need etiquette classes too. They need them.
They do. They really do. And it's
They
nothing
need them.
wrong. It's nothing wrong with them brushing up on their etiquette
Yeah.
skills. There's nothing wrong because in this day and time, women are in the words of Beyonce, we're independent, and so we getting it in. We're trying to make money for our families. We're not sitting down waiting for the man to bring it in. We bring in the table, the meat, we bring it all in. We bring in the table and the sides.
Right,
Okay, so we're busy. So if you want to date a woman, you have to know, hey, this is what I need to do to date her. Maybe
yes,
send her some roses. Maybe write her a little note. Don't text me, write me a little note. Write me a pretty note. Do things like that'll get her interested in you. But on Messenger, you just calling me because you think you want to holler. No, don't do that. That's very rude. And now that's rude and disrespectful.
Right.
That is rude. And women, we got to start holding these standards so that men don't think this is okay. We got to start
Mhm.
making them do better
Right.
because
Mhm.
some men think this is just the way to go, and this is not. It's not the way to go.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
there's levels to this. So
Mhm.
Miss Caddie is an author as well. She's written lots of books. Miss Caddie, I did not know how many books you have written. She has written
Yes.
so many books. And I think you're working on a book now, right?
Yes, I'm working on a dating etiquette 101. And why? Because we're living in the stone ages when it comes down to dating. I just believe it's bad. Now I just got into the single life. I just got into the single life. So I'm like, wow. So this is what it is? Okay. I think I'll be better single. But no, seriously, I just got into the dating thing because I was in a relationship. We're engaged for almost 7 years. So basically, this is all new to me. But I was talking to my oldest son one day, and he's like, "Well, Mom, you don't know about dating my age." I was like, "Well, yeah, that's why I need everybody's input, even your input, because I know dating my age, and I'm 48. It's like what? I mean, it's just I don't understand
It's
it.
mind boggling.
Yeah, I don't understand it. So that's why I was like, okay, I need some women to come together, give me their advice, give me their opinions. What is going on? Maybe it's just me, and I'm not too bougie. I don't want to say, oh, I don't date that kind of guy, or no, I'm not like that at all. But I do have standards, and
Yeah.
WYD is not one of them.
Well, one thing I could say about dating and this time, and I don't think it has anything to do with our age. I think it has something to do with the times we live in.
Mhm,
People want to rush things. People want to rush everything. They will ask you to marry them on the first date. Real
mhm.
talk. And you're like, excuse me? I don't even know you. Or
But I think a lot of it has to do with these shows.
Really, the
So,
reality
Love at
show?
First Sight,
Oh, okay.
90 Day Fiance, The Bachelor. I think a lot has to do with these shows, and
I
Mm,
think so too.
they're in love with that microwave relationship, but a lot of them don't last.
that's true. And then see, I watch ID, so it's like, I mean, Fatal Attraction on TV1 that got me kind of scared. I'm like, wait a
Okay,
minute, wait a minute. I don't want to be going on a date with Freaky Jason, then I can't get rid of him.
right.
Exactly. I don't want to lay nobody out. I mean,
Exactly.
but the thing when it comes to dating and etiquette, when so much online dating, and right now in the middle of a pandemic, I will say this because I have been online dating before. During the pandemic, it's some good prospects on there right now because everybody kind of shut in. So, before when you would get on an online dating app, it's kind of like all the weirdos, all the people that awkward, you know,
Mhm,
it's nothing that you really want. But now it's prime time for people who are single because everybody kind of on lockdown. This is a
mhm,
time to get online because it's more quality people online right now as far
mhm,
as dating. But I think people still do need to know proper etiquette, and
mhm,
that's move at a pace that's comfortable for both people.
mhm,
Don't
mhm.
ask people to come over your house. For me, coming over a person's house is ridiculous when I don't know you. That's not
Right.
gonna happen
So let me
because
ask
I'm
you.
bringing
Okay.
company.
I know that I'm being interviewed, but I just said I'm putting together this book, right? Okay. So let me ask you, ladies, because I want to insert this in here. Okay. What would you all give a single lady that's in the process of dating during a pandemic? She wants to date during the pandemic. With COVID numbers being so high, would you meet the person in person, or what would you ladies do?
Well, me and Shareece both have gone on dates, right? Shareece?
Yeah, I've met
Yeah.
somebody out, and we've actually had dinner out on their uh, parking lot.
Oh, that's good. That's cute.
We
Okay.
actually ordered the food, and he brought a folding table and two chairs, and we actually had dinner right there on the parking lot,
Hey, that's cute.
in between the two cars.
Yeah.
So that was cute and different.
I like that. Okay, so
Yeah.
Miss Lisa, look, I'm on your show, but I'm asking the question. Okay, Lisa.
Well, for me, I think I am seeing somebody, but for me, I think this is a perfect time to date. That's the reason why I'm not fully committed because it's too many good prospects right now that are online. I'm just saying, keeping it real. And I think that this is a perfect time to date because you don't have so much physical contact
Yes.
because of COVID. And also, if you're a person with children or elderly people in your home, it's the perfect reason to not have physical contact. And they got to understand. You just let them
Mhm.
know, look, with COVID-19, I have to be safe. Let's get to know each other without physical contact. And to me, that's perfect because this is a time where physical don't have to get in the way. And most people who know when you're dating, physical gets in the way,
Oh yeah.
especially if you haven't been physical in a while. Somebody who don't really look that good start looking real good because
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, and you need that physical interaction. But that gets in the way. But see, this is a perfect time. You just put that on the back burner and get to know them as a person. Now, honestly, some guys get impatient, and the pandemic has only been since what, March, February, March.
Mhm.
And I've already had a couple guys check out with like I can't be this patient. And for me, it's like, well, then I don't want you anyway, because I'm not trying to jump in bed real quick with nobody. So if
Mhm.
you can't get to know me without physicality,
Mhm.
then you are not for me.
Mhm.
So to me, it's a perfect time to date because you got a built-in reason why we need to put the physical on the back burner. It's a pandemic. Right now, the only thing you need to be worried about is getting to know me and me worried about getting to know you. If two people really trying to be in a relationship, then they will take advantage of this opportunity while we're all kind of separated and get to know each other. This is
Yes.
perfect.
Yes. Yes. That's because that's the thing. I was like, okay, being that we're in a pandemic and I'm writing this, some people are be like, okay, well, what's the first date look like? But I love what Shareece said. Now that was actually cute and very
Yeah.
romantic. So can I ask, how did that go?
That was yeah.
That
That was the first and last. It went good. We had a good conversation and everything, but he wasn't really my type, and I don't think I was really his type. But we just made the best of the night.
okay, I like that. Okay, okay, okay. And Miss
Yeah.
Lisa, you're seeing someone. That's good.
Yeah, but I'm also being, I feel this way about dating because in the past, I've been married more than once. And in the past, I don't think that I was as honest about my feelings and who I am as I am now. I'm honest with this person to let them know, listen, I like you like me, you want to be in a relationship, I'm okay with it, but I am not fully committed, mainly because everything that I want is not here. And something else out there may be more suited for me. So I'm not fully committed. Now I am committed to not being intimate with anyone, but I'm not fully committed to this. And to me, I feel like that's a good way to go because at least I'm honest. It's out in the open. I'm not trying to play no games. And the person knows you can meet other people too. That's fine with me because at this point, it's not about physical. To me, it is about finding someone that I am truly compatible with, and the compatibility is somewhat there, but it's not all the way there. So that's the reason why I have to say to this individual, I'm not fully committed. Now, did he have an attitude? Yes. But at the end of the day, I think that it's better to keep things real and be honest than to play
Yes,
games with people's emotions.
Right.
That's just my
I
feeling.
totally agree. I totally agree. I think that too many older men. Okay, I think too many older men play too many games, and women as well. They play. I mean, it's like, when do you get to the age where you're like, look,
Yeah.
You're over 50. You need to stop.
Right.
Right.
And if you're married, please don't even try it.
Please stop.
Okay.
Right.
Don't even try it, because I say that to say, because a lot of married men act like they're single. You
Yes.
know?
Yes,
So
they do.
don't even go there. And women, when you find out that the man is married, chunk deuces, because guess what? If that was your husband, how would you feel?
Absolutely.
You know,
Right.
how would you
Right.
feel? You know. So I just think dating now is like in the Flintstone era. I'm just like, since I'm getting back into things, I'm like, okay. And I'm like on the phone with him, like, so what are you doing? And oh, what you doing? Well, I'm doing good. What you doing? Well, I'm doing good. So how are you? I'm doing good. Oh, so come on now. Are we gonna do this all day? What you doing?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I never
sometimes
thought of texting. It was good and bad, but it really broke down communication skills
Mhm.
uh, with people and relationships. And I said, in this time of COVID, your relationship is either going to be made or broken,
Oh, yes.
because you
yes.
have to be able to communicate because
Mhm.
you're around each other every day.
Yes. Yes.
And a lot of people are having to work from home, and you can't just play it off like, oh, everything is chummy and let me play like I'm asleep because he's not here. He's there.
Right.
So you either are going to speak to me and we're going to kind of get over what we're doing, or try to get past what we're doing, or what we're doing. We're going our separate ways. What? So,
But
I mean, I
I
think
think
if I was in a relationship, I would love it because I'm a communicator.
Mhm.
hmm
I'm a communicator. So I
but
like
the
to talk
person
and
got to
know
be a
where we are in this
communicator
thing.
too. The
Mhm.
person got to be a communicator too. See, that's the thing. Some people know that communication is important, but when it comes to honest communication,
Mhm.
everybody's
Say
not
that.
comfortable.
Right.
Because when you tell them the truth or when you demand the truth, it's all this dodging phone calls, not really wanting to talk. But to me, we grown. We ought to be able to talk honestly. And
Mhm.
for me, I think for single women right now, what single women need to understand, especially single black women, do
Mhm.
not believe the hype. It's a lot of good black men out here, single,
Oh
truly
yeah,
single.
I
It's a
agree.
lot of, and they also don't believe the hype that they don't want us. That's a lie. They do
Mhm.
want us.
That's true.
Sometimes they don't know how to gain us. They don't know how to keep us. And sometimes
Yeah.
they intimidate. But what you can't do is be something other than who you are. You got to be true to yourself and be real, because ain't no need putting on a front and then you get me and you find out I'm a firecracker. Well, I'm gonna let you know on the
Mm.
first date. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you know up front what you're dealing with.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's sad that social media, TV shows have made black women feel desirable and made us feel like all our men dead or in jail or gay. That's not true. Or married.
Mhm.
That's not true.
Mhm. No.
It's a
No.
lot of single black men out here looking for
Yeah.
quality women.
Yes, but then we also, as quality women, we have to present ourselves like we're quality women, because a lot of women pretend, and then the man thinks they have something, and then when they get in there, you can only pretend for so long. And then they start asking you, "Hey, my rent due. Can you pay this for me?" And then the man is like caught off guard, like, "What? I thought you okay." So you have to be
Right.
honest. You have to, and this is the deal. I read something online where the singer with Destiny Child, Kelly Rowland, said that she almost went broke trying
Mhm.
to be like the Joneses. That's another thing that
Wow.
we must stop doing. We are so
Yes.
busy trying to keep up with everybody else, and your homestead is falling apart. So when
Right.
you're going to date, you have to make sure that you're good. So that, the Bible
Right.
says a man that finds a woman, he finds the good thing. So you are already the good thing, right? So
Yes.
you don't have to pretend like you're something that you're not, you know.
Right.
But it goes
But
all the way back to what? Etiquette and
personal
loving
development.
yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. And personal development.
Yes.
Because
Right.
if you wouldn't date yourself, Don't expect nobody else to date you.
Right.
That's what I said about people who say he got to have a car, he got to have a job, and not no little penny any job, a good job. Okay, but what do you have? Do you
Ooh.
have a good job? Do you have a car? Do you have your own place? Are all your bills paid? And that's where personal development comes in.
Mhm.
You can't expect someone to come in your life and make it great. You make yourself great, make your life great, and share it with someone. And I think that
Amen.
that is intimidating
Yes.
because when you get your life together, any old person can't come into it because you're looking at them like, my life good. So you're not going to come over here with your shenanigans because I'm good over here. And
Yes.
it weeds out the zeros. It weeds it
Yes.
out for you. So
Yes.
that's what I would tell women, especially single women, get your life together. Because
Yes.
when you get your life together, you don't attract dummies no more. Now they'll try you. Anybody will try to look a woman. So they'll try you, but once they realize you're not just fronting, you really got it going on, they're gonna
Mhm.
step on the side because they know they can't do nothing for you.
Amen.
They
I
can't maintain
totally agree.
what you got going on. They can't even look at your budget and try to fix how these bills gonna get paid. They don't know nothing of what you got going on. So
That's right.
that is the best advice, that I got. And this was in my 20s. I was already married when I got this advice, but I put it to use as a single woman. Be the best person you can be, and
Mhm.
you will attract people. But when you just okay where you at, then you're gonna attract people that's okay where they at.
Right.
Mhm.
When you start being the best version of you, you're gonna get better prospects. Now,
Mhm.
again, like I said, a homeless man will approach anybody, a bummy man will approach anybody. But
Yes.
when you got a lot of men who present themselves, I had a guy trying to date me who worked for the district attorney's office. He was a nice looking guy, a lawyer, had a really good job, but his life was a mess. And I
Wow.
couldn't just go with all that stuff on the surface. And some of my friends was like, girl, he fine. He a lawyer. He got a good job. He drive a Range Rover. But I said his life is a mess. And he not bringing that messy life over here. My life is good right by myself.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think that's what we got to do. We got to get our life together so that
Oh
it's
yeah.
so good that you're not finna let anybody come into it. They
No.
have to really be about.
Yeah, that is true. That is so true. Well, I know it's going to be a bestseller. I'm going to ask you girls for your input too in the book.
Well, I
Absolutely.
think I want to input that you might not want to put in the book, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
put it out there, my ladies. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, all the way 100. Now, I know you're not supposed to be having sex before marriage, but let me tell you something. You better get you a little something instead of getting into a relationship just for sex. If you hot and bothered, don't get into a relationship just because you need something. Now,
Mhm.
that's a no-no because then you stuck with that joker.
Oh, yeah.
Then you stuck with that joker. Be honest with yourself
Yes,
and be
yes.
honest with that because sometimes you got to just an itch that need to be scratched.
Mhm.
That do not fit me with you and your kids, and that do not mean get into a relationship. Go on and
Yes.
scratch that itch and keep moving and figure
I
out other ways to keep your mind occupied.
I totally agree with that because you can be in a relationship with a man and a good man be in a relationship with a bad woman, and sex can only go so far. Then what do you have?
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
you have to have more than just that.
Yeah.
And some people think, oh, sex is everything, but no, it really is not.
You know what I tell people? You only got one body. And after that one body, then what?
Then what?
Because they got stuff out here
right,
now that you cannot get rid of.
Amen.
And I
Amen.
just had a
right.
friend of mine tell me with the corona, he was saying that he knows somebody personally who had the corona, and after the corona, like he can't work his functions no more. Like his junk is not working. Then I was watching
Wow.
this morning on the news where this lady here in Houston had to relearn how to walk. She had to relearn how to talk. She said she was in intensive care for 27 days. And then after getting over the corona, she had to go to rehabilitation because it had messed up all her limbs and stuff, where she literally had to, like I said, relearn how to walk and talk and everything.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
So I'm like, hey, it's some serious stuff going on out here.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm in the house indoors.
Yes, me
And
too.
I don't want to all this other. And then I heard on the news where they were saying that men carry the corona.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hmm.
I ain't heard
In
that.
their testicles.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of hard pressed to believe because if that's the case, why we ain't been had it?
I'm
I
just
mean, that's just
Well,
like they say everybody has cancer cells in their body.
I don't know. Read this on CNN.
wow. Well, I don't know.
All I know
Do
is
with
that
this.
all these little hot women need to go and sit down somewhere. Wait till this thing is over with.
Find some way. Find some way to help yourself out. But by
Mm,
all means, don't get in a relationship because of it. I
no.
mean, and though we are joking, I think we all have seen um in a couple days ago there was a really horrible murder suicide here in Houston, domestic violence situation,
Oh yeah.
and it just brings home the fact that these unhealthy relationships is they're real out here. I
Yeah.
mean, these are
Mhm.
two people that, by all accounts, from their friends and family, were happy just the day before.
Yeah,
And for this
Mhm.
person to shoot her and then kill himself, these are two people that's gone now over a relationship.
yeah,
And so we have to be careful about what are we actually looking for? What do we really want? And
yeah.
I think if there's anything to be said about dating etiquette, know what you know what you're after before you even start dating.
Right.
Are
Yeah.
you just really needing physical interaction? Because if you're just needing physical interaction, go after that. Don't play with somebody's emotions if all you want is to get off, because that's not cool. And then if you really looking for something long term, there's ways to go about getting that. But I hope not to see anybody else lose their lives behind relationship stuff. I mean, especially people with kids, like that young lady had children. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
And the thing about it is get to know, I always say this, get to know that person fully. Get to see them when they're mad, when they're when they're happy, when they're you want to actually get to know them when they how mad do they get? Because if they're so mad to where they get physical, you probably want to leave
Right,
that relationship alone that day. You probably don't need to even engage in that relationship. Yeah, but I've seen it so much, especially with the lockdown. People are, they don't want to stay indoors and they're not happy with the people that they have to quarantine with. And it's very sad that people are losing their lives. And that's why I say people need to seek mental help. If that's what you need, go for a walk or ride a bike or read a good book. But keep your hands off people, period. Keep your hands off it. That
right.
goes for women and men because men get abused as well and they don't even report it.
Yes, that is absolutely the case. Very true.
Mhm.
True. Well, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about. I know you're an author, you've written a lot of books, but I wanted to highlight this one because I think this book is really good for the people that we're talking to mostly now. Stay classy, etiquette lessons for ladies. This is the book that really caught my eye. And the reason why is because I feel like being a lady is it's work. You know what I'm saying? It is something that sometimes you have to work at, and people have to understand that it's art. It's an art to being a lady. So tell us a little bit about this book, Miss Caddie. And like I said, you have so many books that are available now for purchase, but I kind of wanted to highlight this one for our listeners and our viewing audience because I would love for everyone to go out and buy this book, Etiquette Classes for Ladies, Stay Classy, because right now this is the perfect time to go ahead and brush up on your skills. So when they do open up everything, we can all walk out as class acts. Get it
Well,
together. We got. Tell us a little bit about this book, Miss Caddie.
okay, well, great. Well, this book is a book that I wrote for women. I write a lot of books for young ladies, but this is a book that I wrote for us women because these are just tidbits on what things we can do. It talks about hygiene, it talks about what to say, how women, we're not supposed to gossip. You know, when you see other people gossiping, or that's not ladylike. And as a lady, you need to know how to carry yourself. So, this book would be a good book for women who don't really know proper etiquette and just need to brush up on their skills. This book is very, very good for 18 and older. You know, that it'll just give them tips on, like I said, proper hygiene, how to do your hair, how to present yourself. I'm big on not gossiping because I think women, as women, we need to be uplifting each other and not tearing each other down. And I know women, we do it a lot, and it needs to stop. You know, I just
especially sitting at home like we are.
exactly, girl, you know what they said about her? No, and I don't want to hear that. You know, and sometimes people not liking another woman because of what someone else said about her. Hey, get to know that woman for yourself before you say, oh, well, you don't like her, I don't like her neither. Well, what did she do to you? You know,
Right.
so that's
You
what
know,
that
I think
book
that's
is
a
about.
good point. I never realized that gossiping had anything to do with etiquette, but when you
Oh,
think about it, it does because it's improper and it's not ladylike
yes,
to be gossiping. So
yes,
I love that. And I think, sometimes you lose friends behind that because
yes,
they'll call you and say, girl. And when you say, look, I don't want to hear about that. That ain't none of my business. And
hmm,
then you find they won't call you no more.
hmm,
And you
hmm,
done lost a friendship. But
hmm.
I think if people realize that that's not proper, that's not productive, and it's not fruitful. So that's the reason why we do need these type of books and this type of training so people understand that this got to stop.
It has to stop because I see so many women not talking to women because you don't talk to them. Well, I may like the lady, so I
Ain't
want
nothing to me.
to. She ain't do nothing to me. That's between you and her. But she and I may click. I may like her. So a lot of women need to understand that and stop judging a woman on how she look and all this other stuff. And a big one in my book is being jealous
Yeah,
of other women. We need to really stop that because it's a lie from the enemy. God created all of us. He doesn't make any mistakes. We're all beautiful. We all have things about ourselves that are beautiful. And we should be happy with who we are and love ourselves for who we
right.
are. But gossiping and being jealous and how these young kids say hating on each other, it's very horrible. But let me say this: it starts at little ages. It starts at little ages. Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You'll
One
be
other thing I wanted to say too is about gossiping.
mm-hmm.
Something that you didn't used to see is men gossiping.
Oh,
Now you can get into a conversation with a man and he will tell you so many folks' business. Now, for me, I have cut men off because I have said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know that person. Why are you telling me all your homeboy's business, his wife's business? I don't want to know. That ain't got nothing to do with me because I don't want to get around these people and know their business. That's not proper. Don't tell me their
exactly.
business.
Exactly.
And I had one guy tell me, well, then how are we gonna be in a relationship if I can't share with you what's on my mind? You can share what's on your mind. I don't want to know about folks' business that ain't nothing to do with me.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Right.
Yes. 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 I
I
completely
think that's
agree.
poor home training.
That's true. That's
Right.
true. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So I want to thank you so much for being on. And I want to make sure that people know about this book. Like I said, she has so many books out on Amazon. I think you could just search her name and all of her merchandise will come up. She has
Thank
a lot
you.
of books there. But I wanted for our audience, I'm going to go and purchase a copy today because I like to, just stay on top of things. But I
Mhm.
really want everybody to go out and buy this book, Stay Classy,
Well,
Etiquette Lessons for Ladies.
Lisa, you don't have to purchase a copy. Send me your address and I will send you one as a gift.
Oh, that's All right. I will definitely do that. I would love that. Okay. That's beautiful. So,
Yeah.
and then I will still purchase one to give to someone else. So
Okay.
that's great.
Well, that's fine.
Right.
Cherie,
That's
send me yours
amazing.
too, and I can send you one as well.
I was gonna say, and I'm gonna purchase one as well.
Well,
So
thank you.
I'll put that in one of my giveaways.
Well, that'll be wonderful. Well, ladies, thank you guys for having me on today. I enjoyed myself. I felt like I needed my more tea because we talked about a lot of stuff today.
Yes, I loved it. And you definitely got to have it back. I
Yeah.
want to have one whole show on dating etiquette. But I
Oh,
also really, one thing I want to say before you go, I love your style. I
thank
just love
you.
your style,
Thank you.
the Louis teacup. I was all about that. I
The phone
love
case
it.
too.
Thank you.
Oh my. And I
Thank
just
you.
feel like we have to bring back style and grace and class.
Thank
Everybody don't have to be ratchet and you don't
you.
have to necessarily be rich. Now, I can show you how to do it on a budget, but I'm just, trying to be like Miss Caddie in the next life. But in this life, I can show you how to have a little class and a little taste on a budget. But
Yes.
if you got a little change, holla at Miss Caddy because I'm telling you, I've never seen a Louis T set. Never. Okay.
I have the whole
That's
tea
something I ain't never seen.
and the Versace. Okay, so that's why I said
Oh my.
when you meet the man,
Oh my.
he should already know what you're about when he meets you. I had a best friend of mine who
I'm trying to get there.
he took my daughter and I to Vegas, and we had first class style everywhere we went. We were treated like we were celebrities. I tell you, we ate 24 karat gold desserts. And so he told my daughter, he said, "Look, if somebody can't treat you like this, don't date him." So we're teaching my 16-year-old the same, have the same standards. Keep your standards high. But thank you, ladies, for having me on your show. I had too much fun today. I think this show is like this, what, Fox Soul with Vivica Fox and what, Lisa Ray, they have a show similar to this, and I had so much fun. So
That's
Well,
good.
thank
for
you.
having me. I had too much fun. So now I'm going to get in my caftan. I know you
Yes.
today. Aren't they so comfortable?
Oh my God. Not only they're comfortable, they look good.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
who knew you could put on something that looks so fabulous and glamorous, just one piece? I
yes,
love it.
yes. I love them. But thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed you all. Y'all be blessed, okay? Ciao.
Thank
Okay.
you. You too, Miss Patty. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
And I want to bye bye. I want to encourage everybody to follow Miss Caddy on Instagram at Divine Creations. Also, and when you have an opportunity, make sure that you follow me, follow Shareece. We are also on Instagram. Follow Shareece at All For You Boutique. That's right, right?
Hmm.
Shareece.
Yep.
Follow
With three
Shareece at
L's, the
All
number
For You
four, and the letter
Boutique.
U.
Yes, three L's, the number four, and the letter U. And you can follow me at Lisa Dene. And so, Cherise, thank you so much. And I know we will, well, I know you got some stuff going on.
Yeah.
Some
And
stuff
I just
going
wanted
on
to give a
later.
quick shout out. My friend Shannon Lanier, he's a co-anchor here with the CW Morning Dose, and I style him, and he is one of the descendants of. Oh, can you see it? Okay, can you
Oh,
see it?
wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, he is one of the descendants of Thomas Jefferson, the sixth generation. And the
Oh,
Smithsonian came a while back, and we dressed him. He didn't want to put on a wig, and I was glad of that because he wants people to know that he's not trying to be like him. He's just a product of him. And
right.
I had the distinct pleasure of getting him ready the day of. That's him. Okay, that's him and his beautiful family right there. And then this is
Wow.
me with my okay, that's me. And this was in the the today's, what is this, Houston Chronicles paper. So I was super
Wow.
excited when he sent me a picture of it, and I was able to pick a couple of them up, and I'm gonna send it to my mom. So again, Shannon Lanier from the CW Morning Dose. He is part of the crew over there, and he is an amazing person. So I just wanted to give shout outs to him and just say thank you to him and the gentleman Drew from the Smithsonian Magazine as well.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yes.
It's got to be pretty amazing to be able to trace your roots back to a president. That's
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Shareece, you just be in the company of so many great people. And the thing about it is, you can't do that with a bad spirit. So you know you got a good spirit
Yes.
because people everywhere. People always use you for styling and having you in their company, and you don't let people look crazy. That's another thing.
Right. Right.
So, so anybody who's looking for a personal stylist, holla at my girl Shareece
Yes.
because we have seen some folks on red carpets and you wonder who is their stylist because
Absolutely.
they got them out here looking crazy.
And I'm a one-stop shop: hair, makeup, and clothes. I got you.
Absolutely. So follow her at All For You Boutique. Follow me at Lisa Dene and also follow us on Stunner Radio. Just to let you know, you can watch our replays on YouTube and you can follow us on Spotify. It left my mind for a moment. Follow us on Spotify and you can listen in your car, listen in your earbuds, whatever the case may be, hear all our shows. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us and for being patient with us. We're having our audio problems and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Same time, same station.
Absolutely. Bye.
Stunner Radio.